I have the measure mod so that if I chop up trees, I can chop up trees to a reasonably accurate length. Biobelt's LF180 log fork, because I prefer that to the in-game log fork. The Land Rover there, parked under the shelter next to the house. And possibly a few more sort of quality of life things. I've got a driver extension mod which gives me the ability to select forward and reverse. So the two arrows above the speedometer, we're currently in forward select. What that does is it allows me to use, I use a steering wheel with pedals. It allows me to use the accelerator as an accelerator and the brake as a brake, and by selecting drive direction. I have GPS loaded. Some of the tractors have GPS, most of the big ones and the Valtra, because I do use them on fields. I do not have course plate loaded. Back up. Let's try that again. I have the quick look mod, which allows me to use the arrow keys to quick pan the camera. It's not quite as functional as the old FS19 version, which allowed you to use the up and down keys to quick tab to look forward, quick tab to look back, which I did find incredibly useful in 17 when I was loading up the logging trailers with a tractor and log forks. Well done. Let's see how we do on this. There we go. Now hopefully it's going to stay where it is. Ugh. Stay where you are. It'll do nicely. Okay. Try and get that all straightened up along here as best we can. Brute force and ignorance. Okay, well, take care. And have a good weekend. Stop by whenever you like. We're here most Saturdays unless I'm on vacation or the power's out or stuff. So yeah, that's kind of an update. So next week, we have no idea what the plans are going to be. At this point, I think there will probably be a stream. I'm planning for there to be a stream, but it depends on what the time is set for next week with the child we're considering adopting. So we could end up, we have to be on the road early Saturday morning to pick up, because it's a 2-hour drive, and then couple of hours with the child and then another. Actually, it's a 2-hour drive if the foster parents meet us halfway. It's a 4-hour drive because it's 2 hours there, 2 hours back if we have to do the entire trip on our own. Okay, that'll do. And that would be horrible. So, as I said, don't know what's happening entirely next week, but the plan is to stream at least for a short part of the morning. The other kids we look after, we're probably not getting. It's the 15th. 29th is the next probable time they will be over. So again, as usual, when they come over, there will be a stream, but it will be a very short finish around 10 o'clock, 10:30, maybe 11. But that's 2 weeks off. And unfortunately, since the arrangements for next weekend won't be decided until tomorrow, I won't have time to declare anything for the Saturday stream, until next Saturday. I will leave a note on the Twitch channel description if there's not going to be one.
Is AC in a breaker panel? There's 230, so if anything, still has gas.
Okay. What am I doing? I'm just driving around aimlessly. Okay, yeah, that was the HVAC man. He wants to turn our AC off so they can start doing AC stuff. Which is, gonna get hot up here. So I will put that weight there. Put the baler away. We fed the sheep, we did everything. At least for now. Oh, there's the baler. So yeah, it's getting to be an interesting year, shall we say. Both doors are open, that's good. And so's the middle door. So I think since that's everything we need to do on our farm for now, obviously the silages are brewing in our clamp at the end. That won't be ready till late. Well, no. That'll actually be ready, I think, fairly early tomorrow game day. It's weak. Okay, that's the baler done. I think I'm going to clean up this tractor. See if we can get these doors closed. Oh, I got that one closed. That one's not closing. Oh, that one's closed here now. Unfortunately, I hit that one twice. Okay, so that's the way to operate that barn. The opener for this is here. And the open for these two are inside. Okay. I'll probably forget by the time I get to open that bay again. So, then they're all clean. I might sell this eventually. It's an okay tractor for the yard. Hey, where'd the dog go? Oh, there he is. Fill the bowl up again, and we'll put this away. I guess the next thing we could check for some contracts, see what's out there. Think. Ooh, that's a little bit close to the wall. Okay, that's a little bit close to the wall. There we go. That's better. Okay, so what's going on with the farm? Did manage to get that completely covered, that's good. Everything else is fertilized. Lots of our local fields need ploughed. Lots of them need lime. And there's weeds around. So, growth. Everything's coming on okay. These two fields, 8 and 1, should be ready to go soon. Although late spring, late summer, not right now. Don't think I have any crops in storage. Nope. Equipment's relatively well maintained. As I said, I paid off the debt. We had about 80,000 last week, or last time I played. Transporting baling contract. Do I do the baling contract? Yeah, why not? And we will borrow the items again. However, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use our tractors and mowers and borrow their. I borrowed their equipment primarily because I don't have wrapping ability. We'll jump in the Challenger. Okay then. Yeah, it's just that I prefer using the butterfly mower to the disc bind, so it's just easier to do it that way. Backwards, please. Thank you. Okay. What field are we actually cutting here, guys? Field 14. Where is field 14? Along the track. So it's the one we normally cut, I think. So that's nice and easy to get to. It's dry weather, so I'm going to bring the rest of the kit up from the store before we start cutting, because I do not want this turning into hay halfway through the contract. That would be a bad result. Map. That's the map button. Okay, this is field 14, so this is as good a place to park as any. There we go. So we don't need the mowing equipment. We're getting a windrow. I could use my own, but whatever. What are we driving? 720. On our vacation, we did see a pair of 724s doing some muck spreading. Harvest has kind of already started in some places. And so, as those fields are cleared, the farmers are preparing them for the next planting. And there's a I'm guessing quite a big farm out in Walnut Creek area. And they have pretty much everything's Fendt tractor equipment, at least. I haven't seen their harvesting equipment. But they headed past the restaurant a couple of times that day, hauling muck spreading wagons behind them. Okay, I'm not going to use their little collecting forks because they suck really badly. What I'll probably do, once we've got the bales wrapped, we're not under pressure of time. We can use the Lindner and possibly our Fendt to bring the bale trailer down, and we'll just stack the bales on the back of the bale trailer manually, which will take me less time than using those bale lifters. I dislike those intensely. Okay, this should be 14 right here. Drop the windrow off on this side. We'll go pick up the baler. And then we'll get started. Oh, no wind, no air. That's a promising sign. That means Mr. HVAC is getting towards the end of at least the install job. It's basically connecting the new equipment to the ducts, replacing the AC, and turning it all on. And then they can do the removal of the old furnace and stuff. Sorry, I am driving and trying to pour a drink at the same time. Okay, there we go. But yeah, I learnt very quickly when using seasons, if you're doing a contract, make sure everything is close by. Because if it's a really nice day, that grass will become dry grass. No, the dry grass will become hay before you get it all baled and wrapped. And then you fail the contract. So the best way around that is to make sure all your equipment is on hand before you start. I could bring a second tractor or a second one of my tractors over so that I could just run a train. As it is, I think we'll do okay. I'll run the mowers around, put the windrower on the back of the Challenger and have this do a follow me to do the baling and wrapping. It's not a total rush against the clock, but if you do collect the mowers, mow the field, go back to the store, collect your windrower, windrow the field, go back to the store, get your baler, especially if it's a separate baler and wrapper, and you're making those extended trips all the time, that can run you out of time and leave you with hay. And you can't wrap that. So get all your equipment on the field and then do it as quickly as you can. I would probably suggest also don't run in a speed up time mode, because I think drying is based on actual game time. So for example, it takes 8 hours to dry dry grass into hay at okay conditions. If they're better than okay, then it takes 6 hours. If they're the best conditions, it'll take 4 hours, type of thing. So you don't want to be in times 5 times 10 mode when you're doing contracts, if there is the risk of your material drying out. Anyway, we're back at the yard, the field. So park this round here. We'll turn the engine off and we'll get into the Challenger. Engine. Indeed, welcome to Challenger. Let's put the camera outside and get all this stuff unfolded. Unfold. Unfold. Lower. Turn on. Slide the rear lower. have access to this field, trust me. I have access to something around here. Probably not to this. Okay. Oh, we are a bit too far over this way, I think. See where the field starts. I'm guessing where all those flowers are. So field 14 is on this side of the pathway. Yeah. And all these weeds are not going to be good for the production of this silage. Or, in the case of the contract, wrapped grass. Now, yeah, the Kavernland cutting equipment would be probably better in this. We could skip having a windrower for a start. But as I said, we're going to keep the class equipment for now because I haven't featured that on any of my playthroughs either. We're featuring other Kavernland stuff on this farm. I may switch to the Kavernland mowers later, when we can actually justify it as a financial cost, but for right now we're still building the equipment, we're building the farm, we're buying fields. Fields are the best investment at this point. We've got all the equipment we absolutely need, and so investing in fields means we make more money over time. And eventually we'll get to the point where we don't have enough or big enough equipment to do all of our fields between late summer and late autumn, late fall. And at that point we'll have to consider upgrading the equipment. But for now we can do everything we want to do. I think the only thing I can't do is forage harvesting. I don't have a forage harvester. Now that's not an important thing, but I think it's something I might want to get into later. Although that can be a frustrating adventure on single player farms. Because unlike, with a normal harvester, you can set the harvester off on a worker and go and do stuff. With a forage harvester, you constantly have to keep it serviced. And so you are running around hauling stuff, trying to dispose of it quickly enough that you can get back to the harvester. Now maybe by the time I get a forage harvester I can get a second carting tractor and cart so that I can put one on follow me with the forage harvester running up and down while I'm running back to the farm with the stuff already collected, and then when I get back I can swap. Put my tractor on follow me and take the one that's now full back to the farm. I'll be constantly driving between the field and the farm at that point. Unless I did something crazy like load courseplay and figure out how it works. For most of the time right now, I'm not playing much farm sim outside of Saturday mornings. So it's not something But I'm able to experiment with stuff outside of the Saturday morning stream. Which is something I did do during Farming 17 and before we moved this year. But right now, most of my evenings are short games. I can, a thing is about 30 minutes and I can